Hello, everyone, and welcome to Humanist Reacts. So, another metal reaction. This is a song that I've been wanting to listen to for a long time. I've always heard good things about it, but it's a band that I've actually listened to very little of. This is a recurring theme, right, on this channel. There's lots of big bands that I haven't listened to much of. But this one's Megadeth, as you see in the title and on the thumbnail. You all already know what this is. You all have already heard it, I'm sure. This is Holy Wars. I think it's got a second part. Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. So yeah, all I know about Megadeth is I know about Dave Mustaine. I know that that he was with Metallica during, I guess, the recording of Kill 'Em All, and then they split off, and that was a big thing when I was younger. It was sort of almost like you had to choose one between Metallica and Megadeth. I was a Metallica fan. That's not why I didn't listen to Megadeth. I just didn't branch out very much with my music. When it came to metal, I listened to Metallica. I listened to a little bit of Cradle of Filth, a little bit of Pantera, and that was mostly it. So anyway, I'm excited to get into this because the only Megadeth song that I know is Symphony of Destruction, which is a great song. So I can only assume that this one's going to be great as well, since it seems to be so highly touted. So anyway, enough from me. Let's get into it. Yeah. So many switch ups. Okay. So, this first verse, this is very much what it says. What it says on the package. This is about Holy Wars, but I think there's a little bit more to it than that. It's not like it's about the Crusades or anything like that. It's about all of the wars that are being waged, that are essentially holy wars, that are essentially remnants of the, especially in the West, when it comes to the West and the Middle East, or America and the Middle East especially. It's all just an extension of the Holy Wars. It's all just an extension of essentially trying to bring about Armageddon. That's my take on it anyway. I feel like, as someone who was raised in a pretty strict Christian church, I feel like that the goal with all of the wars in the Middle East, with making sure that that Israel exists as a state, all of that, the goal of all of that is to bring about Armageddon, because they feel like that's going to happen anyway, like that's inevitable. And since it's inevitable, and since it's a good thing, because it's when Jesus returns, because it's a good thing, they work to bring that about, rather than just assuming that it will happen on its own. But yeah, and it's interesting that this is, when did this song come out? I'm guessing the 80s sometime. This is still very relevant today, obviously. But that's not really surprising. It's interesting, but it's not surprising, because it's been the same thing for, well, ever since the United States got really involved in foreign wars and in greater geopolitics. It's been a thing ever since, at least for the United States. So, yeah, and I'm looking on this album cover here. I'm pretty sure that's George Bush Sr. right there. I'm pretty sure that's who that is. I don't recognize any of these other people, but that certainly looks like George Bush Sr. to me. And he would have been, if this came out in the 80s, then he would have been vice president. Maybe this came out in the early 90s, in which case he would have been president. So it could be, I don't know, or maybe I'm just projecting there, but that would be appropriate. Anyway, all right, back into it. It's got that little Middle Eastern riff there, as if to drive the point home a little bit more. Gosh, this song has so many movements. before we get into that part. Let's talk a little bit about. So it went into this second movement here, which makes sense. I'm looking at the lyrics on Genius, and it called that last part, part 2, the punishment due, and that makes sense now because that seems different. That seems so much different than the message of the first verse. Because the first verse was talking about holy wars, talking about people being sent against their will to war, talking about government intervention in the Middle East, bringing about Armageddon, that sort of thing, like I was talking about earlier. The second verse was much more personal. It was like a personal story, like of a specific soldier. And apparently this person paid by the Alliance to slay all the giants. I'm wondering if this is a mercenary. But yeah, wage the war on organized crime, sneak attacks. Some people risk to employ me. So yeah, this is a mercenary. And either way, they die. It's a hired killer. It's a contract killer. And someone killed his wife and child, and now he's out for vengeance. And that's the punishment due. So that makes sense to me. Alright. Okay. Back into this. Okay, that was Megadeth, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. Man, that was a ride. There were so many transitions in that song, and every one of them was fantastic. Really guitar-driven song, which is a thing that I'm a big fan of. Great solos. There was a message to it that is still poignant today, which is interesting to say the least. And yeah, that was great. Like I said, this is, as far as I know, I've heard 2 other Megadeth songs other than this one. I've heard there was a song called Crush or Crush 'Em that they released in like the late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. And then Symphony of Destruction, and now this one. If there's more Megadeth songs I should be listening to, or other things that should be on my radar, please let me know in the comments down below. If you've stuck around this long, please like and comment and subscribe, and let me know what else I should listen to, not only from Megadeth, but from anybody. Thanks a lot for sticking around, and until next time, y'all take care.